Good morning, everyone, on this Friday. Thanks so much for joining us here for Morning Pulse. I'm Kelsey Marier, your host and producer of this digital broadcast that we bring you every weekday morning at 8:30. I'm happy to have you here. Hopefully you've had a good week so far and are ready to take on a brand new week. I have several stories to bring you this morning for our local headlines, including one that just came into our newsroom, so I'm going to go through that one quickly here. It was an update from the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office talking about a deadly motorcycle accident that kind of happened over the weekend. We now know the name of the man who died in that motorcycle crash. So he has been identified as 58-year-old Chad Mayer of Casson. Now, we did first tell you about this crash earlier this week. It was the one that involved a utility company employee who was actually working in the area of County Road 3 and 100th Street Northwest near Orinoco when that worker actually spotted the motorcycle and the rider in the ditch and then reported that. So that was the crash that we told you about, and now we're getting the new identity of the man who died in that. Other information we have, deputies are still trying to figure out the exact time of the crash. That is unclear at this time, but they do believe it happened sometime between 2 p.m. on Saturday and around 9 a.m. on Monday. So that is something that we're still waiting to learn more on, and if there's any other updates from the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office on this story, we will be sure to bring that to you. But yes, this information just came into our newsroom several minutes ago about an identity for the man who was killed in the deadly motorcycle crash over the weekend. All right, because that was a kind of a breaking news story, I'll call this next story our second story of the morning, even though it may be indicated as the first. So this one is taking us over to Freeborn County, where we know one person, a woman, is behind bars and two other suspects are actually at large after a police chase over a stolen vehicle. This took place through two different Freeborn County communities. So it all actually started in Albert Lea on Wednesday when someone had reported that an SUV was stolen from a home. Then the next day, the Thursday at 7:45 at night, officers ended up finding that stolen vehicle at the Albert Lea City Beach. So when they found the vehicle, they approached it, attempted to do a high-risk traffic stop. The driver was initially cooperating with officers, but then the driver suddenly sped off out of the parking lot and into a nearby neighborhood, which then led Albert Lea police and Freeborn County deputies to begin chasing that stolen car. Authorities say the driver continued this chase all the way through Clark's Grove, also in Freeborn County. During the pursuit, we're told that the suspect vehicle actually intentionally rammed into a sheriff's deputy squad car, causing some significant damage to both vehicles. Then the driver kept going and actually went into a muddy field near the Clark's Grove wastewater retention ponds. That's when apparently the three people inside that stolen car got out and then started to run. So authorities set up a perimeter around the area, a pretty large one at that, with the Minnesota State Patrol actually assisting in the air for this search, and then authorities did end up finding and arresting one suspect, that woman that we first told you about, and the identities and whereabouts of the other two people involved, the other two suspects in this incident, are unknown and are still being looked for at this time. So that's kind of an update that we got to a story, or that's kind of the story that we got actually from authorities early this morning. Our next story is something that's going on this weekend. We're talking about a special celebration honoring the generosity of living donors. So it's an event hosted by Mayo Clinic. It's going to bring together more than 400 people, including those living donors and their families. If you didn't know, living donors are people who give their organs or maybe a portion of an organ or tissue to people whose own organs or tissues are no longer functioning properly. So according to Mayo Clinic, apparently kidney and liver donations are the most common. So this special celebration for those living donors is happening tomorrow at the Gonda Building in downtown Rochester, and it's going to include those people sharing their inspiring stories of giving the gift of life, a second chance at life, to someone else. And And lastly, our final story this morning, bringing us back over to the Albert Lea area because there is a fun summer event that is beginning today there. The Albert Lea Bayside Water Ski Team is actually hosting the Midwest Regional Show Ski Tournament over at Edgewater Park and Bay. This sounds pretty fun. So 11 teams from Minnesota, Iowa, and South Dakota are all going to be competing. Hundreds of visitors are expected to attend. Again, this is a 3-day event starting today, obviously going tomorrow and into Sunday. So you'll see solo and group skiers performing jumps, pyramids, all the stunts, super cool. Show times, if you do want to go to this event, showtimes start at 7:50 in the morning, each morning throughout the weekend. So definitely an early start, but it should be a lot of fun. We do want to know one thing about traffic during this event. The road that goes through Edgewater Park is actually going to be closed from the west gate to the band shell. So keep that in mind. And due to limited parking in the area in general, spectators are actually encouraged to walk or maybe even bike to the event if you want to check it out. And we have learned that the competition is actually a qualifier for the national tournament coming up in August next month. So yeah, this sounds like a really cool event. Water skiing is such a fun sport to watch. There's a lot of talent out there on the water, a lot of things that I definitely couldn't do, but would be really fun to watch. And on that note, because, oopsie, sorry about that. Where am I? Let's come out to me. There we go. Actually, because this event is happening this weekend, the weather looks like it's going to be also really great to be either out on the water or out watching the water ski event. So that should be pretty good. We have good weather for today, pretty mellow, mild Friday, but you will probably notice some haze in the air, and that is due to some wildfire smoke coming from Canada. That we know about. So that the air quality conditions will get better by tomorrow, but today it'll probably still be a little bit hazy, kind of kind of an alert for people with it's unhealthy for people in sensitive groups. So keep that in mind for your Friday, but I hope you enjoy the beautiful weekend, the beautiful weather this weekend, and I hope to see you right back here on our Monday. All right, I'll see you later.